When you think of Pennsylvania, you might picture its rolling hills, historic landmarks, and vibrant cities. But if you try buying liquor here, you're going to notice something unique: the state's restrictive liquor laws. How did Pennsylvania end up with such a system? Well, today we're going to explore what seems like archaic rules, but we're going to end with one big advantage of the system. My name is Cynthia, and I'm with Cinderella Sells and the Living in Eastern PA channel, where we explore everything there is to know about living, working, playing, and relocating to the Lehigh Valley of Eastern PA. Whether you're planning to move in 9 days, 9 weeks, or even 9 months, let me be your guide. Our current laws governing alcohol sales go back to 1933, when prohibition was repealed. While much of the country celebrated, Pennsylvania took a different approach. Governor Gifford Pinchot, a staunch supporter of temperance, believed that alcohol should still be difficult to access. So he pushed for a system that would tightly control alcohol sales. And so the Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board, or PLCB, we even just call it the LCB, was born. Its mission was to keep a tight grip on the sale of wine and spirits, making it harder for people to overindulge. This is actually not that unusual across the country. There are still dry counties or no liquor sales on Sundays in many states. Maybe you live in one of those states. In the mid-1930s, after prohibition was repealed, cultural conservatism was still strong, especially in the rural and religious areas of the state. Remember, this is Amish country and also a lot of Moravians. Many Pennsylvanians supported strict alcohol control, and over time, this conservative mindset continued to influence the state's approach to liquor sales. But there was another reason too. You can probably guess it. By controlling alcohol sales, the state could generate significant revenue through taxes and pricing, ensuring a steady stream of income. So for decades, residents could only buy alcohol from state-owned stores. They're called fine wine and good spirits, or a licensed beer distributor. And this is a system that remains largely intact even today. In recent years, Pennsylvania has loosened the rules a bit, allowing some grocery stores to sell wine and beer. But the state still holds on to its monopoly over liquor sales. It's a system that's evolved, but its roots are firmly planted in the post-prohibition era, driven by the belief that alcohol should always be handled with caution. In 2009, Wegmans, an East Coast grocery chain headquartered in Rochester, New York, was able to obtain a license to sell beer in Pennsylvania by navigating the state's complex laws, specifically through a loophole in the state's licensing regulations. While grocery stores weren't historically allowed to sell alcohol, under the state law, restaurants and eateries could sell alcohol, including beer and wine. To get around this restriction, Wegmans began applying for restaurant liquor licenses. Now, Wegmans accomplished this by adding in-store cafes or dining areas within their grocery stores. These spaces became classified as restaurants under the Pennsylvania law, making them eligible to apply for a restaurant liquor license. Once they secured the license, they could sell beer and, more recently, wine for takeout in designated areas of their stores. In order to be competitive, other stores have followed along as well. Even with a restaurant license, Pennsylvania's liquor laws limit how much beer a customer can purchase in one transaction. Wegmans and other stores are required to limit takeout beer sales to 192 ounces per transaction. That's equivalent to 2 six-packs. Customers can purchase more than that, but they have to make multiple transactions. So here's one area where beer distributors have the advantage because they often sell beer in larger quantities, such as cases of 24 cans or bottles. And they can offer lower per unit prices because of bulk buying. Some distributors also have exclusive deals with breweries, which can lead to better prices. Wegmans and other grocery stores, on the other hand, offer convenience because you're already doing your shopping there, right? But they may charge slightly more for smaller purchases or their craft beer selections. My suggestion is this. If you don't know what your favorite beer is, go to the food store first and put together a 6-pack of options. They let you do that. You don't have to just buy a 6-pack of the same thing. You could buy 6 different bottles. When you settle on a favorite, buy the case at the distributor for much less per can or bottle. Now, in 2016, Pennsylvania passed Act 39, a law that further loosened alcohol regulations. This law allowed grocery stores with restaurant liquor licenses to also sell wine for takeout in addition to beer. So Wegmans, the ringleader, quickly expanded its alcohol offerings to include wine, taking advantage of the new regulations. By obtaining these licenses, Wegmans positioned itself ahead of many competitors, offering customers the convenience of purchasing beer and wine while shopping for groceries. The success of this model has inspired other grocery stores across Pennsylvania, like Giant and Weiss, to adopt similar strategies. Just like beer, wine tends to be less expensive at the state fine wine and good spirit stores because they're run by the PLCB, which sets uniform prices for wine and spirits across the state. This means the prices at those stores are consistent across locations and are controlled by the state. In addition, grocery stores must buy their wine inventory from the Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board, and therefore, they often have to mark up their prices slightly to cover operational costs. That can make the wine a bit more expensive than at the state-run stores. Here is something to note. If you are a fan of Kirkland brand of wine or spirits, or you like 2-Buck Chuck from Trader Joe's, you need to know that no Costco or Trader Joe's in the state sells these. You will have to go to neighboring New Jersey, New York, Delaware, Connecticut to get your favorites. But it is not all doom, gloom, constraint, and control when it comes to alcohol purchase and consumption. There is one really great advantage. Because of the limited number of liquor licenses available and the prohibitive cost of obtaining one, there are many restaurants that don't have a liquor license and they offer a BYOB or bring your own bottle option. The following list is by no means exhaustive, but it does contain some of our favorites. So let's start with the Santa Fe Taco Company in Northampton. We started going to this great spot when we wanted a cheap dinner and movie date. The Roxy Theater still only charges $5 a show, and it's a few doors down from Santa Fe. Normally we go on a weekend, and we take a bottle of our favorite pre-mixed margaritas. They are happy to give you ice, and you simply fill your cup with ice and your drink. Dinner for two will run you under $30, and the movie is $10 for two of you. See what I mean about a cheap date? At our house, we love Indian food, and there are two options in Easton that will allow you to bring your own. Aman's on the Easton Circle has a beautiful ambiance and excellent food. And when you're waiting for a table or you're done with your meal, you can walk around the Easton Circle for a little nightlife. And then there's Clove. This is a family-run restaurant. It has an advantage of having a liquor store right next door. So if you forget to put your bottle in the car at home, there is an option for you to pick it up before going in. My goal is to order everything on the menu at least once at Clove. Two Italian choices are the Taste of Italy in Hellertown and Mamma Nina's in downtown Bethlehem. Both of these places have great choices of authentic Northern and Southern Italian dishes, fresh bread, and delectable desserts. Mamma Nina's even offers a free glass of wine with your meal. I've always found it interesting that they are allowed to give it away, but they can't sell it. Anyway, for another Mexican choice, we often opt for La Perla Tapatia in Easton as it's really close to home. The last time we were there with our bottle of margaritas, another table had wine and they got really jealous. She said, "I never thought about that and I've only ever brought wine." She said, "I'm bringing margaritas next time." Now, there's also the option of bringing beer. My son prefers beer over wine or even mixed drinks, and he'll bring a can or two of his favorite wherever we go that offers BYOB. I've never done it, but I am a Moscow Mule lover. And one of these days, I might just bring my own vodka and ginger beer and mix. Oh, I'd have to bring the copper cup too, wouldn't I? I'll give it a try and report back to you. So again, this is a small sampling of the available restaurants who allow you to bring your own. It's unusual for them to advertise outside with a sign like this. So unless I know the answer, I simply call the place ahead of time and ask. I hope this helps you understand what seems like old-fashioned liquor laws in Pennsylvania, but also how it benefits us as consumers when it comes to eating out. If you'd like to learn more about this or any aspect of living in Eastern PA, please reach out to me. I'd love to help you in your search for your next home here.